Hello viewers, welcome again to JAAMA FM radio and television studios here in the Gateway Abiding Word Ministries in the Gambia. I am back and we started yesterday as I told you, and we will just be going on and on introducing different programs, different people until we really come down to a proper playlist. So permit our flexibility where it's a learning curve for us. If we have problems with sound, let us know, give us feedback, and please share the link. Different kinds of businesses, different kinds of spheres of engagement, and different people behind all of these are people we'll want to talk with. And there's no agenda. One great thing is just to showcase the fact that God has blessed a lot of people with skills, ability, talents, motivational abilities. Some have found their niche, some have not yet found their niche. For those who have found their niches, they become the mentors and the inspirations for others who are yet to find their niche. And also, as you know, I started the Forbes Academy 5 years and 3 months ago, and we are now in our 75th batch, trained well over 400 people. And today it's my pleasure and privilege to have one of our many trainees with us, somebody who I have come to treasure, appreciate himself and his wife for their spirit, for their selflessness, for what will be Gambia. Some of you would remember that 2 weeks ago I started talking about the Gambian dream, and there was a snippet of it that went viral, and we're still having that discussion, what the Gambian dream is, what is the consummate Gambian person, persona, etc., etc. I have with me today here in the studios Mr. Mohamed Tunkara of Sony Transfer. Mohamed is a businessman. Apart from that, strangely enough, he came to the Forbes Academy to do public speaking. So Mohamed, welcome, and then maybe tell us your public speaking story and your Sony story and every story.
Sure. Thank you so much, Pastor. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. The way I came to the Forbes Academy for public speaking is through Nilan Fai.
Oh, Global Properties.
Global Nilan, yes.
All
so
right.
we do business sometimes.
Okay.
So every time I notice, like when I speak to her, she's very calm on the phone.
That's right.
Yes. So I said, talking to you, it just makes me, yeah, one day I said to her, I said, in this chaotic world, how do you remain so calm?
That's right.
How do you remain so calm? Yes. So, and then she just laughed. And then she said she went to Pastor Forbes.
And she did the full program.
Yeah, so she gave me a number
Yes.
and then introduced us.
That's
so
right.
she, in fact, created a WhatsApp group, added both of us there.
I remember.
Yes.
I remember.
So
and I hope I've not disappointed you.
No, you have not. You have not. Well,
Right.
if you had, why would I bring my wife here?
That's
as well?
right. And you brought your wife too.
Yes.
Wow, husband and wife
So
came.
when I did the segment one, I said to my wife, "You need to come and do this."
Yes.
For me, I've now I'm on just finished, concluded segment 2,
Yeah.
and I found it to be an escape, especially the crazy, hectic lifestyle I have
Yes.
because of work.
Yes.
I find it to be an escape. Hence, I never miss class unless I am out of the country.
I know.
So I find it to be an escape whereby I come and just sit down, relax, and get things done,
Yes.
and develop. And with you understanding the Gambian as well so much, so it's just incredible. I'm glad I stumbled upon you, and thanks Nilan for the introduction.
Right. And Nai, I hope Nai
Yes, she loved it
has
as well.
the same sentiments.
Yes, she loved it.
What I like about Nai, she's
Yeah.
like a deep thinker. She takes her time, and when she speaks, it's like a bomb has exploded. And I'm grateful to
Yes.
you for giving her that opportunity.
Yeah, my pleasure.
There is something that has stayed with me since
Yeah.
I read it.
Mhm.
Now, for those of you who don't know, in our segment 2, each segment is about 8 classes. So by the 5th class, we ask the trainees to write their own speech. And Mohammed wrote a speech called Okara. And I'm going to ask him to explain the speech, but from my understanding, it really touched me because it has to do with your roots, your true identity, no matter where you are. Please explain Okara for us. Of course, it's a Sarahule word, I believe.
Yes. Okara is a Sarahule word, means our home. So hence Okara, and then a question followed, where is our home?
Where is our home?
It's like I explained when I made the speech, Okara, my father would be someone born in the village. So we were born in the city, and our kids are born in Europe.
Wow.
So
Where
is our home? So where is our home?
So for your dad, home
Yes.
is
Sudwol.
In the village.
And for me, home is Combo
Banjul,
here,
Combo.
Banjul here.
And your kids
for
are
my
British.
Kids, my daughter would say she's British. So where really is our home? And the reason why I ask that is the way we are going, because it seems we are not intentional in how we are going with things. Because, okay, my father is here, but take an for example, my colleagues whose fathers are with them in Europe or America, those fathers are planning, they would tell you they're coming back home.
I'm bringing everybody.
Yes, they're coming back home, they're moving back to Gambia. Every Sarahule parent will tell you that. Everyone will tell you that.
Wow.
They will say they will come, but I know some who have already retired and they're still there. So they don't really come home. But they have this dream that they will come home. And the kids, no, they don't have that plan. Because they were born and raised in UK, Spain, America. For them, that's home. Because for them, they haven't seen anything in the Gambia. Because their lifestyle, their parents lived in the Gambia. They don't see themselves coming to live like that in the Gambia. You understand? So, and those boys and girls I'm talking about, now they also have kids who only know Europe or America.
So 4 generations from
Yes.
your dad, they have no clue about it.
Exactly.
And I think that happens to all the tribes here. And I like the word you use, Mohammed. We should be intentional about it.
Yes.
So how do you keep the balance between your children knowing that their roots are here,
Yes.
yet, let's call it spade a spade. If they come here,
Yes.
I know whenever my daughter is coming, she's talked with her friends.
Yes.
They all come together, have a great time. I call it painting it red. They painted it red, and then they go back, and they have questions about here. Do you think we are ever going to be able to bridge this gap for them? Will your grandchildren, will they see themselves as Gambians or totally British, Spanish?
It's a difficult question, Pastor. That's why I like having conversations about it. Because I don't think anyone has the simple answer. But for me, I think for us to fix that problem, we have to be intentional. Say, I have a friend who lived in Seattle. He lives here now. When I asked him about his journey, he said he was intentional from the beginning.
Okay.
He planned this is what he's going to do. And I had another friend from who lived in France. He said also the same. I've noticed everyone that has done it, they have been intentional. It doesn't happen by accident. You just don't randomly jump and say, I'm moving back home. You don't do that. Because when you come, it's a different world for you, much less your children who were born in Europe. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So when you came back,
yes,
and you've come with Nai,
yes,
maybe you are testing the waters.
Yeah, we've come previously and tested the waters.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to do things differently because they have to be comfortable and they have to live here on their own terms.
Wow.
That's why, since we moved there in November,
I hope your children know there's no McDonald's and KFC
they don't.
and
They
Pizza
do.
Hut.
My daughter is saying to her, "You going back to England is punishment for her."
Oh, really? Because of the
it-
space here?
Yeah, because she enjoys
All
it
right,
here.
all right.
That's it. So, like I said, but we were intentional about it. And this is what I keep saying to my friends. You can all do this. You just have to be intentional about it. So since we've been here, like I was saying, I go back and forth to UK and stuff for business.
Yeah.
But my wife and the kids, they're still here. They've never been. They don't even want to go.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't even want to go but we were intentional, and this is what I keep telling my friends. You can all do this. You just have to be intentional. It's not going to happen by accident. It's simple as that.
Let's use that same intentionality word. Sunny transfer.
Yes.
That must have been an intentional move.
Yes.
Because the dollar pound rate, there's a whole lot of gymnastics going on.
Yes.
Let me say this. Many years ago,
Yeah.
there was this, what do you call it, dessert shop
Yes.
at the junction of Pipeline Mosque
Yes.
called Palais du Chocolat. One evening I went to buy something and I bumped into Amadou Samba. I've
Yes.
never forgotten this.
Yeah.
And he said, Pastor Nakaba. I said, Uncle Amadou, you need it. He said, Pastor Gisnas are building me. In this country, there are two things. I'm faith
Yeah.
and fit. Then Amadou said to me, Yo, I'm not fit.
Yeah.
Mantam, I'm not fit.
Yeah.
So coming to Gambia, I'm sure you had to put faith
Yeah.
and fit.
True.
Were you afraid that things would collapse and, maybe economies of scale and there are many other competing money transfer agencies, and why didn't you do something else, and what brought you back?
Okay. Good question. I was afraid, but that's because I knew the market. Our business is somewhat niche. because
Okay.
we targeted the Sarahule community.
Oh,
Because you have to look at why did I start this?
Mhm.
I started this business because I saw that before I traveled, how the Sarahules were receiving money, usually hand to hand.
oh, somebody
So
carries.
so if someone wants to send you money, they will give it to someone in Spain, Germany, wherever they are. You go collect it from their cousin, their brother, their whoever.
Pick to the
It
street.
was yes, it was never formal. Yes, so it was never formal. So when I went to UK, and when I go to Spain and France, this is the same thing I see them do still. So because I have never used those businesses from on there, I use the official ones. So I decided to form an official, to create
Wow.
one that is official.
Wow.
Yes, this is literally how I did it.
Wow.
So I approached some of the bigger ones, the Gambian ones that are already operating. I went there to see if we could form a partnership. They didn't understand, I guess, what I wanted to do. And one of them even offered me a job. yeah, because I went there to explain that I'm bringing the Sarahule crowd.
Like an agent.
Yes. So, but it didn't work. So one of them actually helped me and advised, said, well, maybe you need to get your own license. And then we went that way. And we did that. I guess that's where the fit comes in. Yeah, that's where the fit comes in. Because many people never do something because they don't think they can. But they can.
And did you by any chance do accounting, math, anything like
None of that. Still,
that? Just the fit.
no, just the fit. And I had to rely on getting people who know those things you're talking about for them to come and do those sites.
All right, but
Yeah.
look, let's be honest, Mohamed.
Mm.
Is it in the Sarahule genes?
The business in the Sarawak genes, yes, business.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. But there's no speciality. Sarawak is just like business. That's what we like. And
So would I be safe in saying there is no poor Sarahule?
of course they, of course they are poor Sarawak.
Relative,
Our people love
relative.
business. No, they are poor Sarawak, of course. It's just that our people love business, Pastor. Our people love business. Which, like me, from growing up, this is what my father instilled in me, saying that Mohammed is going to be a businessman. He's going to be a businessman. Yeah. So I grew up with that. Even in school, St. Augustine's, I used to sell mobile phones to the teachers. Yeah. I buy phones at Serakuna Market, sell it to the teachers. Yes. Yeah. I used to do that
You
while in school.
escaped GRA somehow, yeah?
I don't think there was GRA back then. That was like 1999, 2000.
Wow.
2000. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think there was GRA. But maybe.
So is that gene going down to your son or your daughter?
I'd love to pass that down. Not just my son, my daughter, the community in general. Because like I'm here now in Gambia, people still questioning why I moved back here. I'm like, this is home.
That's right. Okara.
Yeah, Okara. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. This is home, the Okara.
Yes.
So people still don't understand that someone who somehow is doing well in Europe or America can move to the Gambia. But yes, we can. Why not?
It's home.
Yes, we can.
Mohamed, let me ask you this question. And I'm sure you will agree with me that when you come home, there's a bit of a culture shock,
Yes.
especially with work ethic and punctuality.
Yes.
How have you handled that? Especially with all these holidays when they come.
Pastor, for me, the punctuality was the biggest problem. Can you believe I've had people who don't turn up for work for 3 days in the week? And yes, and nothing.
No reasons?
So we had a lot of problems with that until recently we installed, I went to Jangana's office, JFIN, Kuringo. So when I went there, I saw a thumbprint. I was like, Mohammed, I didn't know this exists in Gambia.
It does.
So yeah, so now we got that as well. Now we got that. So and then
So people clock it.
yeah, people clock in now. People have to clock in and clock out. But even with that though, people will still take advantage. They will not turn up for work. Like just after this Tobaski now, there was one person, when we were talking about who needs time off and whatnot, she was sat there quiet. And the next thing you know, she didn't come the whole week after Tobaski. So you see these things, sometimes honestly, Pastor, for me, sometimes it's just too much. I just don't know how to handle some of our people. But I always put it down to the mentality, because they think this is okay. But where else in the world would you do that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine me when I was in a job in the UK not turn up for a week?
No,
Or my staff right now in the UK. Can you imagine them not turn up for even 3 hours and not without communicating? These things I feel like only happen in the Gambia. You wouldn't dare do that in Europe because you know the consequences. But here, there's no consequences because they will say, oh, I'm sorry, oh, this and that. So what can you do?
It's the Maslaha syndrome.
Yeah, the Maslaha syndrome, yeah. But we have to do away with that. We must do away with that. We must.
And that is also going to make it difficult for our children to come back.
Yes, yes.
Because they've grown up in what to a large extent is an efficient, on-time, largely merit-driven society.
Yes, merit-driven, yes.
You work hard, you get rewarded,
Yes.
and they come here. A friend of mine told me that he was talking to his Nigerian friend, and told his Nigerian friend, you know, in my country, even if you don't work, at home you'll get your breakfast,
Yeah.
your lunch, and your dinner. And the Nigerian friend told him, are you crazy?
Yeah.
In Nigeria, you will die if
Yeah.
you try that.
Or Senegal. Or Senegal itself.
Just next door.
Yeah.
You got to
Senegal
get
itself.
up and work.
Yeah, just look at the Senegalese here. Just look at them and some of the stuff they sell. They're under this hot, nearly 40 degrees temperature. They're selling car air fresheners, window wipers and stuff like that. But you look at our own people, they're sitting in the street corners drinking attire. Pastor, I traveled to the UK in 2007. First travel to UK in 2007.
Wow.
Some of the boys I left in the corners drinking attire. I
Yes.
swear to God, they're still there today drinking attire in the street corner. They're still there drinking attire in the street corner. So
If you had a chat with them, what would you tell them?
I'm scared of having a chat with them. I can say this here now, but I can't say it to them because of how they might take it. Because all I really want to say, and they always approach me, some of them, we talk, you know what, you can finish the story.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of scared because I want to say to them, it doesn't have to be this way.
Mm.
It doesn't have to, because you must break the cycle. Because for them,
right.
they think that they must just go to Europe. But here you have Guineans and Malians coming every day.
That's
now you see this
right.
new breed of
That's right.
boys with donkey carts,
That's
quality
right.
rubbish.
They're
So
all,
you know how much money those people make a day?
well, the one comes to our house.
There we
every
go.
week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you
More
walk
reliable than the truck
Thank you. Of
that
course.
was coming.
Pastor, mine here in backward, mine is more reliable than the one in the UK. He's always there. The bin is always empty. The bin is always empty.
But the Gambian wouldn't want to.
The Gambian wouldn't. That guy is a Guinean. Gambian would never do that. And you see that guy, Pastor? Now even the bottle, one day I saw him filtering the bottles out, the plastic bottles. Now what we do, the bottles, we put them separately now. We recycle them like we did. And now when he comes, separate on the side for them. So he sells that and now he makes extra money out of that. So you know the bottles, the water
Yeah,
bottles.
yeah.
So we put them on the side extra for him now. We get a new bag, put them in there. We don't mix them in the main rubbish anymore. So he takes those separate. So just look at that.
So I so wish Nai was here because I have a question for her. Now you'll have to answer this question yourself, but I'm going to send it to your husband.
Yeah.
How does Nai feel when she sees the way we drive here?
You know, she has a car.
Yeah.
And we always having this issue. Sometimes she'll leave the car and take a taxi. Actually, right now, like I said, she's going to Nema
Yeah.
in a taxi. She has a car at home. Because she's still getting around to accepting that this is how we drive here. yeah. So when we had this conversation a few weeks ago, my cousin said to him, so, okay, now, when will you be ready then? Because she keeps saying she's not ready to go to Serakuna market and this place. So my cousin said, okay, when will you be ready? So this is the thing.
How should we solve this?
Education, Pastor. The roundabout mainly, Pastor. Just today when I was coming here, you will be in the roundabout.
Yep.
Someone coming onto the roundabout, full speed.
It happened to me yesterday, and
Yeah.
I tried to slow him
Yeah.
down. The first second,
Yes, because they feel like they
he
think that
just
it's okay to just come in.
insulted me, and I thought,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, that's what they do. They literally just come in full speed, and someone's gonna get killed someday if we don't understand. And the police are standing there, and I think they don't understand either, because they're standing there seeing that, and I think they don't understand either. So I think we need re-education or sensitization, whichever one it is. But we need one of those.
So how do you handle a situation with money transfer when something goes wrong? Or recently I know there was some
Yes.
thing going on and crisscrossing of.
Yes.
How do you handle things like that?
Yes.
And maybe the deeper question I want to ask you is that,
Yes.
have you had times when you just want to pack and go back?
Okay.
Because the Okara is really not Okaraing.
No. For me, I was prepared. Luckily, because I spoke to a lot of people, so knew what was what. Like one of my friend Babukar Jame said, he said he's the one from Seattle. He said, your why has to be stronger than anything. Your why, the reason why you came, it has to be strong.
Yeah.
If it's not strong, Pastor,
You'll
one setback, you will go back. For us in the money transfer, there are days when we feel like this is it, we are going out of business.
Wow.
Yes, because of the competition, and sometimes how we feel that we are not being looked after by our own.
Okay.
Whereas others from elsewhere will be, say, a foreign money transfer company will be breaking the rules. Whereas we can't, because if you do, the authorities know you directly, they'll call you straight away on your phone. So you see, so we have this frustration. And you know, I think in every Gambian industry you have this complaint, whereby Gambians feel like they are not being helped. Whereas
in
foreigners
their own
come and,
country.
yes, foreigners come and get away with a lot. And I've seen this in many industries. So we go through this, but like I said, for me, I was prepared. And because I'm serving like a niche a niche crowd. Some of the people that we serve at Sony Transfer, without us, they will never use official money transfer, because we're talking about people who are unlettered. People who, even if they look at the money transfer, yes. So people even if they look at the receipt, the money transfer receipt, they cannot tell you how much is written there. These are the kind of people we serve sometimes. So without us, they would not. They will just resort to taking cash, go and give it to someone. The black market system, basically. So this is one of the things. This is one of those are a large part of our business. Like I said, it's the Sarahules we serve, and also we've noticed recently that a lot of them are non-Sarahules as well, like Maninka Safulas. What we notice is these are some of the backway boys who were like from the remote villages, and then they found themselves in Italy now. So we find that we're having a lot of them. Yeah, we're finding, because they keep calling us asking how people in their village can receive money. We'll ask what village. We'll say it's a tiny village near unknown place. So we speak to them. So most of them are these backway boys that the backway boys. So they've come from all over the country. Yeah. And most of them, this could be the only way they find themselves in Europe, through the backway, unfortunately. Yeah.
And
so
you get their money too. Then.
Oh yes, yeah, we help them get their money. But most of them, they have to go to the nearby Sarahule villages, because what we did, we targeted and make sure we're in every major Sarahule village, because the Sarahules are 90% of our customers. So the satellite villages are near them all go to the Sarahule village. You use Gambisara or Garal, for example. They're big villages. So all the small Mandinka villages and Fula villages, they go to those places. So we've been able to help a lot when it comes to financial inclusion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So how does it happen the other way around? I mean, I don't think there's anybody sending money from here to the Sarawale community in the UK, but...
No, people don't.
So let me bring this interview, let me begin to bring it to an end. So you are in the UK, the Sarawale families are there. When a child is born, or unfortunately somebody passes, or there is a wedding inside the UK, is it a mini Gambia in the UK Sarawale affair, or is it anglicized in the British way? Or do you find Sarahules flying from all over?
No, it's changing. It used to be just a Sarahulenized. I guess Sarahulenized, Wolof-nized, whatever tribe they were. But now it's changing, Pastor. Especially with this 2024. Like some of the weddings you see now, you would think, now these are not even Gambian. They do it like the proper, like elegant and the white gown, the suit, the tuxedo. I have a wedding next.
Really?
I have a wedding coming 1st of August. The dress code just came. It has to be tuxedo. I'm like, I don't even have a tuxedo. And it's a Sarahule wedding. So yeah.
Oh really?
So
that means the children are.
Oh yes.
They are winning.
It's changing. Even the location alone. It's not even in the city. It's out. It's where how
it's
we
like
say those places. Yes, no, things are really changing. Even in New York, my cousin just got married. When I looked at the pictures, I was like, wow. So it's changing.
Are they losing the culture?
For them, Okara is a different meaning. For them, Okara is New York and wherever they are. 100%. It's a reality.
For your dad is Garawal.
Yes. Sudol. My dad is Sudol.
Wow. Well, Mohamed, this has been just awesome. And dear viewers, these are some of the things we want to do from JAAMA FM. There is probably no way you would have known this. I would have known this. When I listened to his speech, Okara, which we will play sometime, I was blown away, because I think we can even play it maybe immediately after this. I was blown away that there's such a reality. I have had little discussions with my daughter. It's like, come home. You like Kaba, you like everything. Ebe, come home. But, sometimes the pull factor is just not there.
Yes.
And so you find yourself bending over backwards with the mundane, solar for electricity, borehole for water. You now have to source internet from elsewhere, trying to do something and you beat your chest that you've done it well, but it's a given in other places.
100%.
And yet it's still not going to cut it, because after that they have to drive on the road where everybody's driving.
Yes, 100%.
But I'm so glad we've had this conversation, and I hope Okara works somehow.
Thank you, Pastor.
And
thank you so much.
Please, whenever you want to come in here, remember this is yours. So any last words to the audience before we go?
Thank you everyone, and thank you, Pastor, for being a force for good in the community, for driving this change, for allowing this diverse thing to take place. Because ultimately, these are things that I feel we need in the Gambia in order to move forward. Conversations are very powerful.
That's right.
They're very, very, very powerful.
Transformational.
Yes, and transformational. Very powerful. And without conversations, we don't go anywhere. But we must talk about these things. So we got to a point whereby everything's just politics, politics. We have to do away with that and talk about how we change lives.
That's
Regardless of what party we follow, we need to be able to sit down, have constructive conversation on how we move forward, how we change things. And I am of the belief that for this country to move forward, the diaspora must contribute. And then they look at how much the diaspora contribute financially.
That's right.
So imagine, imagine they come and contribute other ways as well. So imagine they come and contribute. You have Gambians all over the world doing incredible things. Can you imagine we have them contributing here?
That's right.
But we must be able to make them feel at home when they come.
That's right.
So because if they're not comfortable, they will not deliver their best. That's right. It's simple as that.
You know, that's probably going to be our next topic, because when you talk to the diaspora, they have an attitude like people don't come to work on time. And when you speak to the local Gambian, guy then you don't mind. Who come here driving his Lexus and his, but you know one thing you said that I like, the JAAMA FM studios, our motto is shaping minds and transforming lives. This conversation is very transformational.
Indeed, indeed.
And maybe whenever you come back, we'll probably look at the diaspora local synergy.
It's very important.
And see how that goes. And maybe we might even have maybe 3 people. We can have somebody who came and went because he was fed up. Somebody who has not been and has taken fee.
There's many of them,
and then we can have you. And see how it works.
I guess I'm in between here.
Yeah, you'll be in between. And then we'll ask them the question, what is Okara for you? Where are you? All right, well, nice talking to you, Mohamed. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mohamed Tunkara, Sony Transfer. Well, you don't have to be a Sarahule to use him.
No, you don't.
I am an Aku. I am a Gambian. And so he's trusted. I'm sure you know. Your main location is around the traffic light, is it?
Yes, Kairaba Avenue, opposite Oryx. That's where our head office is.
All right, okay, great. Great.
Our head office,
All right, that's around...
Oryx,
by Comium also?
Comium, yes.
All right.
The other side of Comium, yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much, Pastor. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Have a safe trip when you go back.
Thank you.
And I'm sure we'll see you again.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's play his Okara speech. It was just recorded in the Forbes Academy, so permit the sound, but hear Mr. Tunkara as we go. And stay tuned, because we are going to bring at least 3 other people today. We're going to bring an elegant lady who's going to talk about non-verbal communication, those eye movements that our parents gave us. And then we're going to talk to somebody who's starting a program called The Voice, and we're going to talk about something else with somebody else. Let's have a great evening and share the link with other people, because we're going to go great. Let's listen to his speech at the Forbes Academy.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mohamed Tunkara. The topic I'm speaking on today is Okara. It's a Sarahule word meaning our home. So this speech is from the perspective of a Sarahule person. Okara, our home. Where is our home? And I ask this question because as a Sarahule, born in the Combos, to a father born in the provinces, who now have children born in the UK. So these are 3 generations having to reconcile where our home is. Often, our parents are constantly reminding us that we are Gambians, and in some cases, not just Gambians, but the village that we come from. While I am also trying to emphasize to my children that they are Gambian. And these children have the belief that they are British, because that's where they were born, and that is what they know. Hence, it becomes important for us to keep reminding our kids of where they come from, just as our parents kept reminding us of where we came from. However, it gets a bit more complicated as you go along, because the dream of coming back home is one usually the father has, but it's not shared by the mother or the children. So this father will continue believing that one day he will be going back home with the wife and the children, while the wife will be comfortable in the environment they are in, because they don't have to struggle with living back home here in the Gambia in a large family compound, having to contest with co-wives and constant visitors in the house. where there's no privacy. So these women will be very comfortable in the atmospheres in the UK. So moving back home will be a question they will never entertain. And hence, they will not share in the dream of ingraining this going back home idea within the kids' mind. And those children will grow up, continue acting as if they are British, which they are. So it leads me to point that what, as optimistic as I would love to be, it doesn't look good for our community. Because as time goes on, we just get more and more divided. The parents keep holding, the father keeps holding on to the fact that he and his family are going back home. The wife keeps being more comfortable in her environment in the UK, and the children are just confused as in what will happen next. So it brings me back to the question, where is our home, Okara? Where is our home? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.